Hey guys, Kyle, the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for Eden Zero Chapter 25, and Merry Christmas, and first off, I guess I should say a Merry Christmas, everyone, because yeah, it's Christmas Eve now, and I hope you all have an extremely good holiday. Um, I hope you have all an extremely good holiday from here. Now to the review, and this is Eden Zero Chapter 25. So the chapter starts off by jumping right into the battle between pretty much Shiki and Rogout, and this is one of those fights that actually has a good aspect and a bad aspect to it. The good thing I liked about this fight is that Mashima actually took the time and showed the progression of Shiki actually learning this pretty much a bit of a new way to fight, which is something, well, to my knowledge, even as much as I kind of like Fairy Tail and it's so bad it's good way, it's something that I found he pretty much rarely, if basically ever pretty much did with Natsu. Like with Natsu, it always kind of came so naturally to him, but with Shiki, Mashin was actually wanting to teach, is actually wanting for Shiki in order to actually learn something. So there's that for sure. And what made it even funnier, but still kind of cool, is that he is how he pretty much learned in order to do that, in order to control his there'd be his in order to control this technique he has, this technique of the gravity balls, which is he learned it from his memory of playing a video game from pretty much playing a bit of a video game with a video game. So yeah, it's kind of it's one of those interesting things where I gotta give, it's one of those things where I gotta give Mashima credit in saying that it's one of the more interesting ways in order for a character to learn something new. And it almost makes me wonder if he took a bit of a cue from pretty much Tagashi with that, or with this particular chapter, Mashima decided to, in order to let his inner gamer out or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, the fact that Shiki learned how to control his gravity balls from pretty much a video game it's kind of interesting in itself. And I will admit, one other thing I do like about this chapter for sure is the fact that pretty much that with Shiki, he wasn't, with the fight with Shiki and Rogue Out, of course, like Shiki, he wasn't just fighting Sister, he was fighting every single one of the top, of the top echelon of Rogouts, which is Jean, I guess that Toad guy with the mustache, and of course Sister herself. So I like how it did escalate the fight, and actually had a little bit of difficulty this time around in order to actually add to the difficulty of Shiki's fight. So yeah, I like I like how things went with this chapter in terms of the fight. Now, having said all that, despite all the good stuff I mentioned about the fight, there is one little bad problem with this fight for me. To be honest, I don't know if I can even call it a problem. It's just more of a bit of a confusing element to me, which is that Shiki's whole gravity ball technique, it kind of came out of nowhere, and the only way I can justify it outside of the flashback we got is that with the gravity balls, they're basically something that they're basically what we're looking at with the gravity balls is that they're the true form of Shiki's power, which in that, if that is in fact the case, it would make the most sense when looking at Shiki's history and battle thus far. And if this is in fact, if Shiki's gravity balls are like the true form of his power, I think it's kind of funny how Mashima actually gave a legitimate reason to pretty much his main character's penchant for pretty much for basically wanting close quarters combat. But yeah, I guess what I'm getting at with the whole gravity balls thing is that it was basically, it was fine for what it was, but the I think it could have deserved a bit of a better transition into it almost. But I guess a lot of the problems I have with that particular one is that I wish there was a bit of a smoother transition into the reveal of these gravity balls, if they are in fact, as I said, if they're basically if they're the true power of Shiki's ether gear or whatnot. So yeah, I would have liked just a little bit more of explanation onto that one, but I guess Mushmus. I guess with that one either. Like I said, I can't get too mad at it though because I think Mushma. I think Mushma would just assumes. Just kind of assuming that we clue into that with even with how much even with how much you need it to kind of in order to back it up. Like it's something simple that we kind of almost clue into almost. I don't know. It's weird. And the big thing, of course, with this fight is the re-entrance of the real Sister Evelyn, and I say the real Sister Evelyn because based on her dialogue in this chapter, it does appear like my little theory from last week. About pretty much how she's this about how this fake sister is siphoning power from the real sister. That kind of seems to be the case as of right now. Now, as far as what's going to happen from here after the fake is disposed of, like I'm not going to lie, basically Sister Evelyn right now, she's giving off this exuding aura of being like a villain now almost. And so with that having said, as far as what's going to happen after this real sister has taken care of the fake, I really got no clue because my brain is telling me that based on just her expression and her dialogue, the real sister is going to be a bit of an antagonist towards Shiki. But on the other hand, I don't think with this whole with sister looking evil, I don't think we should really take it seriously either because on the other side of the spectrum, my gut is telling me that this real sister acting evil is just kind of is part of her quirk or part of her personality or whatnot, and I think the fact that she is more than likely going to end up being like a sadist or something like that is going to be played up for laughs. Which knowing Mashima. Knowing that's kind of based. That's the prediction that's based on my gut, and knowing Mashima, I think it's safer in order to go with my gut than my brain with that one. So, yeah, I don't think I guess what I'm saying is I don't think that the real sister is going to be a villain, but I think she's going to be. I think her personality quirk is going to be that she's going to be a bit of a sadist to basically every one of the Eden Zero crew for sure. And yeah, let's go ahead and talk about Elega because Elega in the end proved to be one of the most idiotic villains in anime and manga history, and I mean that because I swear this Toad bastard was so fucking stupid to the point where it's actually kind of fascinating because to the very end, after being told that of what's happening and what's going to happen to Planet Gilst with the chronophage coming and whatnot, all the dude cared about was his collection of women. And the only other thing I can honestly say at this point is that being that narcissistic is a talent that can only be achieved by some true commitment. And it's like, yo, dude, it's almost like Lega as a villain is so stupid that I almost want to study him. I want to go deeper into what caused this guy to kind of, in order to be this freaking like narcissistic and just love for. And just love for basically and materialistic. That's the word. Just narcissistic and materialistic. I want to know what caused this guy in order to be this freaking stupid. It's fascinating. On the flip side, however, his stupidity really worked out in Rebecca's favor and gave her a really cool kick-ass moment. Although it is one of those times where I wanted more of Rebecca's. I wanted more of seeing Rebecca fight and just seeing her kick ass a lot more, especially to Elega because Elega really definitely needed an extended ass kicking, but for the moment we did get, it was very cool, and I But yeah, I wanted the part of the chapter that focused on Illega and yeah, one thing I will say is that I wanted the part that focused on Illega and Rebecca to basically have more of the fight and less of Illega's stupidity, basically. But yeah, guys, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, AniList, or Crunchyroll. Death Knight of May, signing off. Later, guys.